too.
I was still feeling it when we got home. I was up until like 4:30.
Yeah, I saw your text and I was like, what the F? And then I texted you at 7 to say like, oh, it's raining, maybe not.
Not go to the Brocon.
Yeah. And I passed passed out again until like 10 a.m. And we had an extra hour of sleep tonight.
That's true.
And you like responded at 7 a.m. when I woke up back at 10. I was like, this girl is like a vampire. Like, she does not sleep.
Welcome to Pardon Our French.
Hello, bonjour. Welcome to Pardon Our French with Quincy and Justine.
We hope you had a nice Halloweekend and Halloween, I suppose, if you're going out on a Tuesday night.
Unlucky for those in the U.S., you have to work the next day. But lucky for us, we have the day off.
We do. But we wanted to recap our weekend. We had a bit of an unexpected change in plans that turned out to be quite fun.
Very fun.
We were initially intending to go on our boat cruise.
Right.
But have been blessed lately by constant rain.
Constant, disgusting rain, might I add.
So while weighing the pros and cons between being on a wet boat for 3 hours and and not being on a wet boat for 3 hours, we decided to switch gears.
And we ended up at Les Bains, which we have talked about a lot recently. But it's really convenient. They're 5 minutes away. It's a really nice place. And they were having a Halloween party. So we're like,
we'll do that instead.
Let's do it.
We kind of had to prolonge our get ready together because we had all gotten like over to Justine's by about 5 p.m. because the boat usually leaves about, 7 or 8. Yeah. So we had to get ready and go. But then at like 5:30, we're like, oh, okay, so we're going to go out to this place and we don't want to show up there before like 10:30. So we're like, okay, we have 5.5 hours to kill.
So we took our time getting ready.
We did.
We ended up watching Mean Girls because we were dressed up as Regina, Gretchen, and Karen
when they go to their Halloween party.
Yes, in their Halloween costumes. So I was Gretchen. I had my little cat ears.
I was Regina, the rabbit ears,
which was very fun. Many people were very curious about that. Yeah. And Lucy was Karen with the mouse ears. Maybe you saw our little TikTok video.
Yeah, we gotta post that. So we approached the club and all the security guys are out front and I hear one of them mumble to the other. They're like, oh yeah, it's Halloween. And I was like, oh, I think we might be the first people showing up.
And like to give context, we are in all black, very cute, like jumpsuit situation, like corset and like some leather leggings and just like bunny ears. And we have like really high heels on. We're like these giant, like long-legged women walking up to this bar. And they're like, they all turn to look and they're like, oh yeah, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
And this man, the like main bouncer guy, I guess, was like, what are you girls here for? Like dinner? And we're like, no, just the bar. And he was like, okay, well, you're all so beautiful. So let me escort you. And we're like, okay. And we follow him in like a single file line.
It was so funny.
It was so funny. And the bar was like, there were a few people, but there were chairs available and there was like, it was dinner service. So people are having dinner.
It was the end of dinner service. It was like 10:30.
Yeah, it was 10:30, but people were sitting down.
Yeah,
like there's no one
sitting. Yeah.
Like there's a point in Les Bains where like people show up and everybody's kind of gathered around the bar, like standing. Yeah. And
that's more like 1.
Yeah. And so he goes over to the head bartender and he like whispers to him and then leaves and he's like, have a wonderful night. And then the bartender is like, okay, good evening, ladies. Yeah. What can I do for you?
Brings over an extra chair.
Seats us down, gives us the menu. It was the
cucumber water, which I don't like, but the sentiment matters,
And just, we were the only ones with any kind of Halloween costume on. So the eyes were all on us.
Yeah. And there was a moment where we were like, and then we're like, no, we're owning this. We're owning this. We're not taking them off.
We're all in agreement. We are owning.
Yeah.
We are wearing this for the remainder of the evening. There were people across the way from us, like staring at this like group of women, and they were really cute. They were like, oh, look, they're all wearing it.
Yeah.
But it was nice. Like, I was like, okay, we deserve this treatment. And It was a fun time.
I had a blast. Nice. And when we moved from the bar part to the club part, we finally saw some other people dressed up. First of all, we saw one group, and then one girl who was dressed as Barbie.
Yes.
So we were like going to go up to her and be like, "Hi, Barbie."
There's and then Frida Kahlo and other kind of costumes.
And they were all in the same group, a group of Americans.
Yes.
And then this one girl came up to us and she was like, "Oh my God, like so glad to see that you guys dressed up." And she turned out to be actually DJing that evening, which was super cool. And so we chatted with her for a while, and it was just so nice. She's also American from New York.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a fun connection, and just nice to see that there are some people who appreciated our costumes. But we did get a lot of, nice comments. So
yeah, it was just funny because the people's like first reaction were to like touch our ears.
Yeah.
Which was so weird, but they're like, "Oh, what is this?" And like touching our ears. But it was like cool because it's like a conversation starter, right? And so in France, where people aren't very much the type to approach like a group that they don't know.
Yeah.
It was that conversation starter. And we had some like very sweet comments. Like it was like very nice compliments and like just chat in general.
And then all the Italians showed up.
Oh God.
This
no
place,
offense to Italians, but come on.
If you're looking for an Italian, this is the place to go. They are not afraid to approach.
Yes. And all night, so context, I've been watching a lot of Vampire Diaries lately. And so no one was dressed up right, but everybody was wearing a black outfit with like dark makeup and just kind of like looked mysterious. And I was like,
isn't that everyone all the time in Paris?
But like, no, this was like more so. I feel like Les Bains in general because it's like Halloween. That crowd. I don't think it was the Halloween aspect. Okay. It was just like going out at this place, being very chic and like whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, everybody looks like vampires. And then the fact that they're Italian made it even more so like, oh, it's the Italian like vampire crew coming in.
Wait, why Italian?
Because in Twilight, the vampire leaders or whatever are in Italy.
I didn't know that.
So it's like my own kind of interpretation and like perception of things.
Yeah.
Especially when the Italians showed up because they like come in packs, man, and they're all wearing cable knit sweaters and
the cable knit sweaters. He kept bumping into. I was like, I've got the cable knit on my back. Get the cable knit out.
And I'm like, which one? They were all on cable knit.
They showed up and they were some of the preppiest people I've ever seen in my life, and that's coming from me growing up in New England. Some of the most ridiculous preppy outfits I saw last night. And you could tell they're Italian because they come in with their like super puffed chests.
Yeah.
And like,
first of all, most of them are short, no offense. And then they do puff their chest and they like walk around this like slow, like macho walk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitches, you guys don't own this place. Like, what the fuck? Maybe you do. I don't know.
It was funny.
No, but then we saw the owner too.
Yeah, the owner is nice. Yeah, so that was our night.
It was a fun night. It was an unexpected turn from what we were expecting to do that evening. Mm-hmm. And we ended up staying until like, was it like 2:30, 2:45?
A little, yeah. Later. Yeah. Around there. We
ended up leaving because Quincy met Tom. Tell us about Tom, Quincy.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you that, Tom. Tom was one of the ones who made a comment to us about our ears or whatever. And we were just chatting with him for a little bit. And then he was like, "Do you want to dance?" And the first time I was like, "No, thanks. I'm good."
Yeah. But he was like grabbing your like hands to like try and dance with you. And you're like, no.
Yeah. I was like,
And like, to be fair, Quincy saw him. She was like, "He's cute." And I was like, "He is cute."
Yeah.
His friend gives me bad vibes, but he's cute.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm kind of on my focus is elsewhere right now. So I was just not super, I don't know.
You're like, he's cute to look at, but nothing more.
I was like, nothing more. And he was clearly looking for something more.
A lot more.
So I like realized that quite quickly. And I just at one point I was like, "Justine, let's go out on a high note and head out."
Yeah. It was like a great song.
Yeah.
And as soon as it ended, we were like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
And so I'm doing my move of like, "All right, well, it's great to meet you. Like, bye." And then Quincy's like, wait. We're going to just exchange Instagrams.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fine, I'll go wait by myself by the door.
Yeah, well, that was a big mistake.
Oh.
That backfired on me.
And like also that like his annoying friend asked us like 3 times what we were dressed as. And like he was like, oh, you guys aren't scary. Halloween's supposed to be scary. And I'm like, no. That's what like people in Europe think. Like you guys make Halloween this whole like scary thing and it can't be anything else.
Yeah.
Whereas in the US, it's like a whole culture and you just don't understand and you never will.
You just don't get it. You can't sit with us.
He asked me like twice what we were dressed up as. I was like, it's from a movie. And he's like, okay. Like not even asking follow-up questions of like which one.
Yeah.
And then goes on his phone. And then 5 minutes later, he looks at me and he's like, what are you dressed up as? I'm like, it's from a movie. Like I just told you. So I end up showing him which movie and he's like, oh, but of course, whatever.
Yeah.
And his friend was like, oh, you should dance with her. And I was like, please don't. Like, actually, do not touch me because I'll flip my shit, dude. So anyhow, yes, you guys exchanged Instagrams and then the rest of the night was just trolling this dude.
Yeah, we really were just trolling him. He called me like gosh, 3 times.
3 times
on Instagram, and I obviously didn't pick up. I was like, "You can't come wherever we're like going, like whatever."
Which was my house with McDonald's.
Cut that out. No one can know I go to McDonald's.
I did.
No, so he goes, "Can I see you another day?" And he goes, "Like, but see."
First of all, he was like, I come? ?
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, no.
And he was, well, yeah.
And he just puts question marks.
Yeah, a lot of question marks. And then I said, I can't invite you. And he was like, I don't understand.
He said stupid, remember?
Yeah, wait. He
deleted these.
He deleted shit.
I'm dead. He said...
He revised our conversation. I didn't know you could. Damn it.
He said stupid. And then she was like, unimpressed. And he was like, what? Question mark. And then she was like, TBD.
Wait, I'm actually shook right now that he totally went through and revised our conversation.
That's wild.
Well, because I was like scrolling and I was like, wait, why can't I find these messages?
Yeah. And oh no, yeah, he said stupid and you're like, unimpressed. And then she was like, oh, I can see you tomorrow. And he's like, see me for what?
Yeah.
And she was like, TBD. And he was like, TBD? I don't understand. My English isn't good. I don't know. I can't speak English yet.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And then I was like, oh, sorry. And he goes, and I was like, well, I can't invite you. But like, you know,
maybe we can see each other.
We can get a coffee or something. Just because I'm like, you know, I'm totally going to call his bluff because he clearly just wants to like hook up with someone. Yeah. And he starts going on this.
And he's like, tomorrow? And she's like, yeah, tomorrow. And then he's like, what do you want? And she's like, well, what do you want? And he's like, cuddles. I'm like, that's code. Don't fall for it.
Yeah. No, and then he texted me today and he's like, ça va? And I was like, yeah, ça va et toi? And he just like, just giving nothing.
Yeah, like, yeah, what are you doing?
I'm like, okay,
and
bye.
She's like, I'm just at home. He's like, same. And then it ended.
Okay, bye.
So that's Dom. And we were just... just having like our little coming home
troll session
with our trolling. So yeah, it was good. And then we gained an hour of sleep because daylight savings happened.
Yeah.
Which means that it is not even, it got dark at 6, which I hate, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And today we're going to have our first raclette of the season.
Yes. Which is officially time because the weather has officially turned. It's not going back.
Yeah. And raclette, for anyone who doesn't know, is like a kind of like a type of cheese in France. And there are these machines. I think raclette's also in Switzerland as well. There's these machines that basically melt the cheese on these little like single pan things.
Yeah.
And you put it over like potatoes and charcuterie, and it's delicious.
It's incredible.
And this segues into the wonderful topic today around French cuisine and what you may not know are actual typical meals here.
Yeah. Like this place we went to this week. Justine and I tried out this place we've been wanting to go for a while called Vivant Deux.
It's very fancy.
Yeah.
Traditional French.
The vibe of the place was super cool. It's like
So
a very
cool.
narrow restaurant. You basically have bar seating and then you look right into the kitchen. So you see them making everything right in front of you, which was amazing.
Gorgeous candles. Like everything's candlelit.
Yeah. Drippy. Like so pretty.
And you read the menu. Oh no, you don't read the menu. Sorry. The server reads the menu for you.
Yeah.
And Quincy and I are looking at you. They're like, what are we going to eat tonight?
Yeah. Well, because a lot of it was fish. I'm not a fishy gal. And so I guess
a lot of them were meals that we will probably never try in our life.
So we were like, I guess it's the duck hearts for €80.
Yeah, you heard that right. We ate duck hearts.
We did. We saw them being made in front of us. I did see a literal ventricle. Yeah. Like the actual...
I just saw the chambers. The
heart chambers. We saw the heart chambers. They're very small.
Yeah, they're very small. Duck hearts are like the size of a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
And basically, so we didn't only eat duck hearts. It's like a 5-course meal.
Yeah.
We had these little toasts with like mushrooms, like 3 ways or something like that. Then we had, oh my gosh, we had cabbage, which sounds like, you read this and you're like, cabbage can't be, like, what the fuck? No, this cabbage.
It was grilled and then it had a beurre blanc that was just so delicious.
Buttery, lemon zesty sauce that you just dip this like grilled cabbage in.
Like you're eating cabbage and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah. We were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was so good. And then the duck was like duck 3 ways. So it was like a traditional duck breast. Then it was a caillette of duck. And caillette is like a specialty from Ardèche, which is south of Lyon, which is basically like a giant like sausage meatball kind of thing. And so it has like spinach and onions and stuff and just like meat as well.
With a sort of like a duck foie gras on top.
Yes, and on top was the foie gras. And then it was the hearts that came in like these cabbage baskets.
We were like, we have to eat these first because else it's going to be too much like trying to jump off a really high cliff. Like, and just like, it's going to take longer and longer. Yeah, we're like, so just don't think about it. And if you didn't think about it, it was actually quite good.
It was, honestly, it was really good.
It was really good.
The chef prepared them, like the sauce it was in. Yeah. It just tasted like duck breast, but with a little bit of a weird texture. Yeah. Some of the texture was fine. And then you like had certain bites where you're like, you're like, this is like, hard.
Swallow now.
But it was really delicious. Everything was delicious.
Yeah. Finished off with a really good cheesecake.
Yeah.
That was with the crème anglaise. That was just amazing. So highly recommend
it. Highly recommend.
I have like a very like, I mean, I'm just not used to going out as much for meals because I've been on more of a
tight budget
lately. So for me, I was like, wow, I haven't had food like this in forever, you know? So it was really a delicious meal. And even just to like be in a nice place where that, you know, they're not pressuring you. They're not pushing plates on you. It's just very calm, very at your pace. And
they're checking in on you, asking you what you need.
Yeah, it's not overcrowded. It was just a very nice vibe.
Yeah. And I think on our little Instagram post, we'll suggest some of our favorite like French restaurants if you ever come to Paris to try out. And before you go, we're going to now go over some of the typical things you might find on a menu and what they are so that you don't, you know, say, oh, this sounds cool. Let's just try it. And then you're like, fuck my life.
That situation, I would say, comes up most when you see riz de veau.
Yeah. Cervelle, tripe, rognon. We're going to go over what this is. Because, of course, there are the typical things such as French onion soup, bouillabaisse, which is like a fish-based soup, quiche Lorraine, which is like quiche with, you know, onions and bacon, croque monsieur, bœuf bourguignon, escargot, foie gras, frog legs, crepes, which I've tried all of those. I don't know if you have.
I think I've tried everything. Maybe not the frog legs.
I honestly, everything we've just said, I love. I really love.
Surprisingly, I really liked escargot.
It's delicious. It's like, it's just a little bit chewy. Yeah. So like if anybody's had like alligator or crocodile before.
Escargot being snails, by the way.
Yes. It's like a little bit of a chewy meat. Yeah. But it's covered in like a garlic sauce.
Yeah, buttery garlic sauce. And it's
so good.
Yeah.
And then foie gras, which is goose liver, also delicious. You have it like on a brioche with some like fig jam and so good. Mm-hmm. And then frog legs just taste like chicken, honestly. They're just, it really does. They're like just tiny little chicken thighs.
Oh my God. Tiny little chicken thighs. Yeah.
Would I order that on a regular basis? Probably not. It's also expensive because they're like, delicacies, if you will.
Yeah. But some things that maybe you wouldn't want to order and would be
come up at most French bistros.
Yeah.
So riz de veau, which is the pancreas or the thymus of a calf or a lamb. You can look that up. I'm not going to describe it
in any more detail than that.
Don't know what it tastes like. We'll never know what it tastes like.
Don't want to know.
Doesn't look appetizing to me.
Yeah, but just don't get like, because normally I see veau and I'm like, oh, that sounds like a meat that I would like.
Yeah. And then it says in riz is rice. So you're like, oh, rice and veal must be delicious. No. I mean, if you want to be adventurous, go for it. We would not. Another thing that you'll see is like foie, which is like foie de veau, or I think it's usually veal as well, which is literally like liver of a cow or baby cow. Yes. And it's not to be mistaken with foie gras because foie gras and foie, they're very different because foie gras is like prepared a certain way. And like this liver is straight up liver that is, it's just disgusting. I have tried it, I will say, and I can say I did not like it.
Okay.
So yeah, tried it, wouldn't ever try it again.
Yeah. Trip, stomach lining.
Yum. I'm just like, how did that
what I said to Justine, what I said to Justine, I was like, why did we have to go from making like everything that's haute cuisine? Why does it have to be like the most disgusting parts of the body of all these animals? Why can't it just be like a really nicely made regular steak?
Yeah. I'm like, it could be delicious and I will never know because I'm never going to try that ever. Another thing that usually comes with tripes or the lining of the stomach are a rognon, which is kidney, which again, will not try.
No, I think I'm good.
Other things, so cervelle, which is literally like sheep brain. And I can't believe people eat it.
Oh my God, no.
My dad told me that that's something they'd have regularly at home growing up. And like, he could never eat it now, but he used to like it. And I'm like, don't tell me that.
That's terrible. I can't imagine.
And then there are also like less weird, but still weird things such as boudin, which is blood sausage. But I think you can find that in the US.
I feel like people eat that normally.
I can't get past it, but
yeah. I mean, I've never had one, but I feel like I've seen that more commonly.
It's like sausage with dried blood and flour and whatever.
Now that you say it like that.
Pig feet, which is like a huge thing here. There's actually a restaurant called Au Pied de Cochon, which is like to the pig's feet. And then rabbit, which I just added there because I'm like, I can't eat a bunny.
We just ate a duck though.
I know, but
duckies.
I grew up with bunnies. I can't do it. I've also tasted duck and it's delicious, so I can't. I don't want rabbit. Lapin, yeah. I know people around me have tried it and said it's good, but I'm just not even going to go there because I grew up having like 100 rabbits. And
people also here. So I was at dinner a while ago, months ago, with Amaya and Louis, and at this place they were serving pigeon, and he ate pigeon.
Yeah, they do have pigeon. It's pigeon.
Yeah, pigeon.
Which, if you guys have seen Modern Family, please look up the Modern Family clip where they go to Paris and
he orders a
pigeon because he's trying to blend in.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
I just wouldn't want to eat it.
Let's add that to
we should. I just feel like pigeons are dirty. I wouldn't want to be eating a dirty pigeon. Dirty old pigeon.
I'm like, they're probably infested with diseases, not
dirty old sky rat.
Yeah.
That could be my New York City bias coming in.
So just be prepared. If you go to France and you go to a French restaurant, you'll probably see some very odd things on the menu. Yeah. Some of them very good. Maybe all of them are good. I won't be the person to tell you if those are not because I don't know.
Just beware that your stomach might be a little unsettled for a couple days afterwards.
Like we wouldn't want you in a situation like in the Modern Family episode where you order it not knowing what it is because it sounds nice and then it shows up and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Oh God.
But we'll definitely post our favorite French restaurants in Paris, ranging prices because there are some that are fancier than others.
Definitely.
All of them will have like a pretty similar menu in terms of what they serve. It'll just be differently made.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely suggest you try and explore what is actually French cuisine, because it's more than crepes and French onion soup.
That's true. Or as they just say here, onion soup.
Yeah. Oignon gratiné.
Yeah. Soupe à l'oignon.
Which gratiné means like crispy cheese, which is the most delicious part of the
melted
French onion
over.
soup.
Yeah.
So yes, look out for that. We hope you had a great Halloween, and we will see you next week.
Indeed.
À bientôt.
Au revoir.